So, Albert, I mean, of course, consumption in large domestic markets always help, right? But a lot of Asian economies, as you well know, are still very dependent on investment, especially foreign investment. So I need to bring up geopolitics, even though I know that the ADB prefers not to get into that kind of stuff. But, I mean, it's real and it's having an effect, is it not, on trade as well as on investment flows? I mean, portfolio flows have literally almost come to a grinding halt when it comes to money going in to China. And now at risk is U.S. FDI flows into China as well, based on what President Biden is considering doing or trying to do.
Absolutely. So we're seeing a clear decline in FDI into China. That's somewhat offset regionally by increased investment in other parts of Asia. Part of that, in fact, is Chinese investment and other investment trying to shift some production activity out of China to diversify risk. So that is an issue. But on the other hand, we see within the region kind of a clear, steady commitment to open trade and investment. We had the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreements passed, implemented last year. So we see growing regional economic integration, growing trade flows, and China is part of that. We see China's share of intermediate input trade in the region growing over time. So the picture is a bit complicated, but obviously the geopolitics is on everybody's mind. Nobody wants to see countries in the region being forced to choose sides between one bloc or the other. The countries in the region will benefit the most from open, healthy trade relationships with both China and the U.S.
Albert, specifically for China, what stimulus response do you believe should be warranted to stabilize economic growth?
Well, the central bank has lowered interest rates recently in an effort to help stimulate the economy, but they have to be careful. They've been pretty disciplined in trying to deleverage the economy in terms of debt levels, and China has still very elevated debt levels, both local government debt, corporate debt, household debt, all pretty high after several years of pandemic. I think the recovery in the property sector is important, but it could be sluggish for quite a while to come. What we really hope is that China's consumers and businesses will regain confidence to start spending more and to invest more, because we're seeing their caution in this respect really being a dampener that's causing the sluggish recovery in China.